Hello, hello. Good evening. Powerful women of abundance. Lordine Jean-Francois here, women's empowerment coach and licensed clinician with Abundant Consulting LLC. So happy to be here with you all today, per usual, on this week's episode of Love and Light with Lou. Today we are talking about 3 habits to kick if you are serious about your personal growth. So very excited to cover this topic with you all today because much like you, I've had to kick some habits and I'm still kicking some habits that sometimes get in the way of my personal growth. So I am going to give folks a few minutes to get into the room. As always, hoping that you all have done something for your self-care this week. Some things, not just something, but some things for your self-care this week. And if you have not, please make sure to put you on your list. Hello, thanks for joining. Say hello, let me know you're here. Hey, Michelle, what's up, mama? How are you? So good to see you on. Yes, so affirming that everyone is well, and again, reminding you, if you have not done so already, to take some time out for self-care. Take some time out to pour into yourself today, okay? And if not today, before the end of this week, okay? Make sure you're taking care of yourself. So yes, we're going to give folks a few minutes to get in the room, and we're talking about personal growth, and what are the 3 habits that we need to kick if we're serious about growth, right? If we're serious about our personal growth, okay? The interesting thing about personal growth is that as human beings, we have this innate drive to become greater, right? There is this built-in success mechanism that we have, right? Call it what you want, right? Hi, Rochelle. Thank you for joining. There's this built-in success mechanism that we have as human beings that compels us to become a greater version of ourselves, right? And that is an ongoing evolutionary process. Okay, so when we don't go along with that natural tendency to grow, we can suffer quite a bit emotionally, mentally, spiritually, and even physically when we are repressing our innate need to grow and become greater. Right? So this is why I see so much value in this topic and why I'm bringing this topic to you all today, because if we don't grow, we suffer in almost every area of our lives. And maybe it starts off as pain, right? Emotional pain, physical pain, spiritual pain, disconnection from your purpose, loss of meaning in life. Maybe it starts off as those subtle things, right? But eventually, when we resist the natural evolutionary process, right, of personal growth, okay, we end up suffering, quite honestly, in every single area of our lives, okay, in our relationships, in our careers, and mind, body, and spirit. All right, so because this is so essential, we need to understand what are the 3 habits, common habits, that so many of us engage in, myself included, from time to time, right? Maybe not as much now as before, but still now, okay, we're all going through this journey, right? What are the 3 habits that we engage in unknowingly, subconsciously, that could be sabotaging our innate desire to become more, to become greater? All right, so I'll share a story with you. This is a funny story. I was telling my fiance this earlier today. I remember when I went into grad school and I knew I wanted to be a therapist. Coming out of high school, I knew I wanted to be a therapist, right? So I went to grad school, went to Frostburg for my master's degree, became a licensed therapist, started my own practice, right? So here I am, 15 years in the game, okay? 15 years in this therapy game, right? And when I set the intention to become a therapist, I was certain at that point in my life that was going to be it for me. Right? Once I became a therapist, once I got my private practice, I was going to be good. I was going to be set, right? I would feel like I arrived, right? And to be honest, I did feel that way for a little while, right? For a little while, I was completely satisfied with where I was, my business, the number of people that I helped, just making a difference in the way that I was making a difference, completely satisfied with that, right? But then what crept up? What crept up was this desire to do even more, right? At one point when I thought that this was going to be my final stop, now I'm at this stop and I'm like, wait a minute, right? There's more here, right? There's more here within me, and there's more that I want out of life. Right? And so one of the things about one of the main qualities that we have as human beings, we're pretty adaptable. Adaptability helps us deal with stress and life circumstances, but adaptability is also that thing that compels us to want more, right? Once we adapt, once we get comfortable in a situation, there is this urge, that innate urge to want to grow. Right? Because growing is a natural part of the life process. Okay. So I thought I knew I thought I knew that that was it for me, but obviously not. Right. And deciding to not just rest in the place where I was comfortable is what birthed Abundant Consulting LLC. Right? Is what birthed the work that I'm doing now as a women's empowerment coach, spiritual empowerment coach. Right. And so had I not that there's any way to resist that, but had I not gone with the flow of that innate desire to move beyond where I was, I wouldn't be here with you all. Okay, so we might think this is good. I'm good here, right? But there is this part of us, as long as you are breathing and that you're inhabiting this body, these bodies, right? There is a part of us that's always going to want to grow. Right? Because that is what leads to you really owning not only your power, but making your mark in this world, serving the purpose that you are intended to serve in this world. Okay? So this is some serious business, right? This is some serious business. And when we don't go along with that natural flow of evolution and natural flow of creation, we end up living very dull lives. And what that looks like is being bored, dissatisfied, unmotivated, just really feeling stuck. Right? And sometimes even paralyzed, not knowing what to do next, right? When we're not connected to that innate desire that we have to become and not responding to it by setting intentions to grow and become greater, then we do tend to deal with mental, emotional, physical, spiritual dis-ease when we're not showing up and pursuing our purpose and pursuing just personal growth, right? Pursuing a greater version of ourselves, okay? So with that being said, hello, thank you for joining. Say hello so I can know that you're here. I want to acknowledge you. And if you're watching the replay, be sure to type in #replay. So thankfully, when I got to the point where I was okay, but I wanted more, I found an amazing coach, right? I found an amazing coach, and with her support, I've been able to make my dreams come true. Right? So I'm so thankful for that. But again, if I didn't go with the flow of that desire, hey Myra, so good to see you. If I did not go with the flow of that natural desire to become greater, right? The resources that I now have, I wouldn't have. The support that I now have to take me to the next level, I would not have access to, right? The interesting thing is, to manifest anything that you want in life, you have to first set the intention. Right? You got to set the intention. You have to decide, I want to grow in whatever area. I want to be a better partner. I want to be an entrepreneur. You have to set the intention, right? So that the creative forces that are always working in your favor, whether you're aware of it or not, whether you believe it or not, can realize that you're ready. And so those supports can come in to carry you along your journey, right? So we want to make sure we're setting the intention. Okay. All right, so with that being said, what are the 3 habits that we need to kick if we're serious about this personal growth game, right? If we're serious about our evolution, right? And fulfilling our purpose here on this planet, okay? So here is, I'm gonna bring my notes up because I don't wanna miss anything. All right, so 3 mistakes, right? The number 1 mistake that we make is that we pursue goals from a place of lack, not enoughness. Yes, I made that word up. You're not gonna find it in the dictionary. Not enoughness, and from a place of scarcity, right? So whenever we pursue, and this is all of this in essence is fear-based thinking, right? Having a fear-based, scarcity-based mindset, right? And so when we approach goals from this perspective, 1, we don't think very clearly about the decisions that we make, right? Because we're making decisions in a place of survival mode, right? So when we're not thinking clearly about the decisions we make, when we're not thinking those decisions through, and I'm not talking about analysis paralysis, I'm talking about being calm and centered, having balance between your heart and your mind before making a decision to move forward, right? We tend to make, and nothing wrong with making mistakes, but we tend to make decisions that are not based on, hey, Ms. We tend to sometimes make decisions that may either take us off our path a bit, right? Or may not fully be in alignment with the goals that we have for ourselves, right? So when we pursue personal growth from a place of lack, thinking that there isn't enough when the world is abundant, when you are abundant, right? From a place of not feeling like you are enough, you were born enough, right? Then we have the potential to make decisions from a fear-based place. And when we do that, there are consequences that we encounter as a result of operating from a place of fear. Okay, and then also too, we can find ourselves in that self-sabotaging loop because deep down inside, we don't believe that we're worthy of what it is we say we want. Okay, because if you believe in lack, if you believe that resources are limited, then subconsciously the belief is, what's the point? What's the point of me actually trying if I don't believe that what I want is even possible? Okay, so that's mistake number 1. Mistake number 2, not minding the company we keep. Okay. You got to make sure you have the right people around you if you are taking your personal growth seriously. I am fortunate enough to be part of this amazing coaching group, the Coaching Transformation Academy, and we meet every week to support each other, hold each other accountable, and to just be there, right? When we're experiencing challenges, right? We have that support. We support each other in that way, and honestly, that really has kept me going through some very challenging times, right? But one of the main mistakes we make is we don't take into consideration that we are, what is it? We are the sum total of the 5 people we spend the most time with. Right? And there's a psychology behind that. There's even a biology behind that, right? That makes this so. And so when you have to be mindful of the people that you have around you, because you are a sum total of the 5 main people that you spend the most time with. So give some thought to that. And that contemplation can be a bit difficult because sometimes it means we have to reevaluate some of our very long, connections or relationships, right? It might mean spending less time with family. It might mean spending less time with certain friends, right? Especially if they're not where you are and can't see the value in what you're pursuing for yourself, right? Okay, birds of a feather flock together. I mean, the sayings go on, right? But you are a sum total of the 5 people. How you show up is a sum total of the 5 people you spend your most time with, the most time with. Okay, so we make the mistake of not being mindful, selective about the company that we keep. Okay, that's mistake number 2. Mistake number 3, the last mistake I'm going to share with you all, is the negative self-talk. Right? The negative self-talk, the self-criticism, the comparison trap. Let's just lump that all into one category, right? Change is challenging, right? And one of the reasons why it's so challenging is that it's challenging the ego self, right, to step outside of its comfort zone, right? And the ego self thrives off of safety, pleasure, and gain, right? Safety, pleasure, or false sense of safety, pleasure, and gain, right? So the moment we try to make changes, that ego self shows up, right? It's kind of kicking and screaming, right? So all of the unpleasant thoughts, all the unpleasant things we can say about ourselves, the feelings that we sometimes have a hard time moving through, right? There's something about setting the intention to do something different that triggers those things, because the ego has the desire to keep things the way it is, right? So the negative self-talk, the comparisons, comparing your beginning of your movie to the end of someone else's movie, those are the things that are very self-defeating, self-disparaging, and also they drain your energy, right? Self-criticism literally drains your energy. It weakens your body. So the energy that you need to make these changes, the energy that you would benefit from and while pursuing these goals, right? You're sapping that energy by being negative, by speaking poorly about yourself, right? Because those negative thoughts, those negative emotions, they literally weigh us down when you think about it, right? When you're not feeling your best, when you're not thinking, having the highest quality of thoughts, right? You tend to feel heavy, right? So that's what those thoughts and feelings are doing. They're weighing you down. And if you're weighed down, you don't have the energy and even the emotional capacity to pursue your goals, at least not to the degree in which you could if you were being more compassionate with yourself, if you were comparing where you are now to where you once were, using yourself as the measure, right? We want to make sure that we're mindful of how we're speaking to ourselves, okay? And not comparing ourselves to other people, because those habits really get in the way of us moving towards our goals, okay? So those are the 3 habits that we need to kick if we are serious about our personal growth, okay? Pursuing goals from a place of lack, habit number 1. Not minding the company that we keep, okay? Keep in mind, you gotta be selective about the people you have around you. Get you a good team around you. And the 3rd habit, the negative self-talk, the self-criticism, and the comparison traps that we put ourselves in, okay? So my tip for today is to get you a coach or a mentor or accountability group, right? Get someone in your corner who can see the version of you that you cannot yet see. All right? All right? Because of the experiences we've all had in life, we have these blinders on, right? Our perspective of what is available to us is limited because of the beliefs that we've had for some time, the experiences that we've had. And as a result of that, we can't truly see our potential the way that someone on the other side who is rooting for you can see your potential. Okay? So yes, I am a coach. I'm not even saying you have to get me as your coach. But if you're serious about your personal growth, if you really are committed to you and experiencing the life that you desire and deserve, you need to get a coach, a mentor, an accountability partner, someone who is rooting for you and someone who can see the greatness that you possess, yes, you, even when you don't see it. Especially when you don't see it. Because change is challenging. It really is. And the moment you set that intention, I think Myron Golden says it, the moment you set that intention, disruption is sure to follow. Right? The moment you decide I'm going to do something different, it almost seems like everything comes at you, right? And all of those things are in your path to prepare you for the greater that you are seeking, right? Right? So in the midst of that disruption, as you're moving toward your goals, the vision you have for your life, you want to make sure you have somebody on your side who can see on the other side, who's been where you are, and now is on the other side where you want to be. All right. So that is my tip for today. All right, drop a comment, drop an emoji if this has been helpful. It's always a pleasure for me to connect with you all. I do want to remind you that my masterclass, She Redeems, is on May 14th. Okay, that's May 14th via Zoom from 1 to 3 p.m. We're going to be covering the five ways that we give our power away, the ways we don't even know we are giving our power away, and what it looks like to reclaim our power so we can live the lives that we desire and deserve. Okay, you are so much powerful than you think you are. Right? And there are things that we're doing that we don't even know are keeping us from the life we say we desire and we deserve. So I hope that you join me for the masterclass. Early bird tickets are on sale. The VIP option allows us to meet one-to-one so we can specifically identify what are the situations, thoughts, feelings that get in the way, get you hooked, right, while you're trying to pursue your personal growth. Okay, when you're trying to pursue your personal growth. Okay, and I also believe the VIP gets you a copy of my ebook 10 Habits Blocking Your Abundance. All right, that is May 14th from 1 to 3. I hope to see you there. And there's also always an opportunity for us to work together. So if you would like some support with personal growth, right? Mastering your emotions, mastering your mind while you're on your way to your dreams, okay? You know how to reach me. You can connect with me on this platform. You can also visit my website, abundantconsulting.org. All right? Until then, to your success, powerful woman. I look forward to seeing you on the next episode of Love and Light with Lou. You be well.